Many people, but don't make dreams your master. But I was able to dream outside those 4 walls of that small town. A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut, and all it is a dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their master. When you become the master of your dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL, and you say, okay, I'm gonna lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months.
Again, I'm nervous before I'm gonna go speak or something. I got a little thing in my wallet. You're gonna die one day, McConaughey. And I'm like, that relaxes me. If I'm going in, complacent, I got another note and tell myself, what you're about to say and do will outlive you. So you better fucking do it well.
I mean, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. You're too much of a pussy to cash it in. And that's bullshit. Because I'd do fucking anything to have what you got. So would any of these fucking guys. It'd be an insult to us if you're still here in 20 years. Hanging around here is a fucking waste of your time.
And it takes tremendous willpower, and I know you have plenty of willpower, I do as well, but there's a limit to willpower, but there's no limit to pull. Pull is when there's something magnificent that you want to serve, something that you've got an obsession for to create or to do or make happen, and that you don't lose that energy.
We're gonna be the biggest YouTube channel ever. It's like, I don't care, I'll fucking die trying. Like, I'm gonna obsess and grind, and they're always like, eventually you'll get burnt out. Eventually he's gonna slow down. He can't just grow like this forever. And I was like, no.
What the hell were you all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's gonna disappoint you. You're gonna forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're gonna forever be miserable, man.
What comes first, belief or action? Do you need to believe that you can do a thing before you can do it? Fake it until you make it is one option, but incredibly hard if you're introspective and have low self-belief and high standards. So what about make it until you believe it? Here are some lessons that I've learned.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time. And in your 20s, you can get so scared and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And he taught me 3 things. He said, if you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number 1, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
As somebody who doesn't believe they're particularly talented, it's all the more important that I outwork everyone in the room. You have to bleed in order for it to be the highest expression of what you're capable of. Talent doesn't matter. You have the ability to outwork everyone in the room.
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. And that was it. And I was like, I have nothing to lose. And that was when I think in the last podcast we talked about this, where it's like, if everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
Even that inner critic is not us. It's just a rehearsed, habituated, conditioned voice that you've just practiced. So you've practiced that voice your whole life that says you're a loser, you're not great, you're not enough, you're not good, whatever it is. And if you start practicing another voice, that will change.
Yeah.
And that for me was always massively helpful in recognizing that you could change pretty much anything and everything if you wanted to and if you chose to, because all you were living out was a habit.
In those moments, those are the moments of truth that no one sees, where you're at your breaking point. And that's where faith comes in, honestly. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to hold that vision for the better life of your aspirations. The truth is, the real work is in the drudgery.
Correct.
And the difficult, anonymous work of shoveling shit every single day.
If you want to be successful, here's the thing you have to do. You have to jump. There is no way around it. You have to jump. Every successful person has jumped. You got to jump. You got to take a leap of faith. You got to dash off that cliff, and you got to jump out there as far as you can.
And really our life is just a culmination of all the decisions that we make, right? The choices that we make. And before every decision, before every choice, I want everybody listening to just ask themselves one question. What would my higher self do? And I want you to, like you said, try one day living like this. Would they snooze their alarm? What would they eat for breakfast? Do they reply to this person? Do they say yes to this thing they don't want to do? How do they go into work? What's their body language like today? You know, and I think when you start to realize that actually your higher self already exists, you just need to bring that version of you to life.
Hard work is the goal. And so it's not like work hard so that X, because as soon as you have a so that, then the X is the thing. But if the goal is to work as hard as you possibly can, then the only real output we have is who we become along the way.
It's you, when all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action and start moving forward.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road.
You're going to take the professor's side on
Don't
this?
give me a line of shit, no.
Look, I didn't want the job.
It's not about the job. I don't care if you work for the government. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want? I mean, there are guys who work their entire life laying bricks so their kids have a chance at the opportunities you have here.
I didn't ask for this.
No. You were born with it, so don't cop out behind. I didn't ask for this.
Self-esteem is earned by yourself, with yourself. What people have said has zero impact on your self-esteem, and telling people they're great or not great does not change it. The way you develop esteem for yourself is by doing difficult things that you know are right. When you do something that you know is right, even though it's difficult, your esteem for yourself grows. And if you wait till you know everything, the opportunity's gone. And that's true not just in finance, I think that's true in life.
Yes.
Right? We wait till we have absolute certainty. There's no absolute certainty in life. The only absolute certainty is faith. The fastest way to change your life is start making some real decisions.
Our natural tendency is to sell ourselves short. Our natural tendency is to think of the reasons why we can't before we think of the reasons why we can. So the key to breaking ourselves out of the comfort zone and breaking ourselves loose of the shackle of helplessness is courage and confidence. We neutralize the antidote to fear and ignorance is desire and knowledge. And the more we learn about what we want to do and be and have, the more we believe that we can do it. The more we believe that we can do it, the more willing we are to try. And the more willing we are to try, the more likely it is we will succeed. What is the first part of triumph? The first part of triumph is to try.
When all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action and start moving forward.
Action is an antidote to anxiety.
Man, action is an antidote to all kinds of problems.
And I think that if most people could figure out like, oh yeah, well, I want to do this thing. Why do you want to do it? And my very first one-on-one coach used to say to me, he would say, what's your why? What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He would like hammer it home in my head. And I was like, why do you ask this so much? And he would always say, because if your why is strong enough, your how will reveal itself. If you know why you want to do something, how it's going to be done, you'll figure out. It doesn't matter. Things are going to get in your way. There's going to be obstacles. There's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be moments of like, I don't know if I can do this. But if your why is so strong, it's like, I don't care what comes up in front of me. I'm going to get it done.
that if you want to be a confident person, you have to take action. Confidence is a result of doing something. And so many times people cheat themselves because they lack that confidence, so they don't do what they should do, only to leave saying, I wish I would have done that.
My mind doesn't think I can do it. I'm severely underestimating my strength that I can't pick this can up. But when I get to the gym, I need to overpower my mind and just do it. I need to understand that I still have the muscle, I still have the strength. I'm just being a lazy little bitch right now. And I need to pick up that weight and do it and overpower it.
What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forgo? Because a lot of people, like this guy came in one time, I was a trainer. And he goes, man, I can stop doing anything but my frappuccinos. I go, leave. When you are willing to strip yourself down to nothing and give everything, that's who I want to work with. Because now I can mold you into exactly who you want to be. When you put these restrictions up, and that's why my first question is, how bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be.
What was I doing with my confidence? I was making a determination to take action on something that I didn't feel comfortable with. And trust me, I did. I never broke that promise to myself, and today I can look back at many times where I just went ahead and did it. I didn't feel comfortable, but I went ahead and did it. And each time I took action, it began to give me confidence.
When you have an unmade decision, every single second that you spend thinking about the unmade decision could have been gotten back had you just made the decision. And realizing that it's a justification for eating frogs earlier in the day. I need to answer that email. The longer that you wait until you answer that email, the more times you will think the thought, I need to answer that email. And if we assume that what truly, truly matters in life is the time and the attention that we spend within that time, your time is being captured and your attention is being captured by a thought that could have been gotten rid of had you have just done it. Had you have just had the conversation, broken up with the relationship, left the job, told the father, whatever. Done your stretches, cleaned your teeth, had a shower, whatever it is that you needed to do. All of that anxiety cost could have been gotten rid of had you just gone and done it.
Everybody has dreams. Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it. And it's like, because they don't think you can do nothing they can't do.
Exactly, bingo.
Right? You know what I mean? It's like, it's a lonely, scary, dangerous pursuit, and you got to be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You got to be fearless, you got to be relentless.
I have led a toothless life. A toothless life. I have never bitten into anything. I was waiting. I was reserving myself for later on, and I have just noticed that my teeth have gone.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. It's the habit of biting that takes you all the way, not where you choose to bite the first time. And which is, what if I keep doing what I'm currently doing for the next 10 years? What will my life look like then? That usually takes my current pain and then just magnifies it. And then that allows me to get my action threshold high enough that it goes over the edge so that I can take that first move.
If you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it, it's like, you just feel like a weirdo.
Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day.
if you don't know why you believe what you believe, it's not your belief, it's someone else's. And so if you can't explain, like, why am I not doing this? If you can't actually explain it, it's because there's someone else's voice that is influencing you that you're not aware of. Is Tom's approval worth more than the dream that you want to pursue?
Being great is being selfish. You have to be selfish to be great. You have to put the work in, the dedication in, to be great, to be the best in the world, to win the gold medal. You have to work extremely hard, and you have to be selfish about that. It has to come first.
We don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. The only work that really matters is the work that no one sees. It shows you who you really are rather than who you say you are.
There's this line that I heard David Goggins say on Rogan. You want to be able to say that in the mirror to yourself and not laugh at yourself.
It's not your conditions, it's your decisions that determine the quality of your life. I had pretty rough conditions growing up, to say the least, but I turned those into good conditions because of a mindset, because of certain psychology, because of certain decisions.
All my life, I have schedule, I have rules, I have discipline, and for me, it's all about numbers, I have to do most of them, like all things, like on time. Like you have to wake up on like 6, 7, you have to train, after you come home, breakfast, go school, come back, do homework, train, come back, eat, sleep, repeat. It's like this.
If you lose your reputation with yourself, if you no longer trust you, I don't keep my own word. I know that I'm not a trustworthy person. I keep making promises to myself and to other people, and I keep on breaking them. I keep doing something that hurts other people, or the same person. They don't trust me anymore, and I don't trust me anymore.
And you're 100% right. It all comes back to being a very personal act. And what some people would say, that person's acting selfishly. No, they're actually being incredibly unselfish, I think, because they're pinning themselves in a living hell and having to look in the mirror and going, I don't trust you. I don't respect you.
Identity is the controlling force of human being. If you are of an identity that says, I always find the way to victory, you will find the victory. What makes people, by the way, miserable is when they feel events control them versus they control events. And all it is a shift in here and here, right? So your identity is everything. And so you have to be careful, because very often in life, we identify to who we were a while ago. Like if I asked someone in an event to do something, I'm not that kind of person. Well, when did you decide what kind of person you were? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Would you use a phone from 10 years ago? You'd be an idiot. Why would you use the same old identity?
You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of shit, man. I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. It's not until then, once you get there, that's when you fucking know you've done enough. Stay hard.
Because you have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. You have to have pride in yourself. You have to have, there's something about you, whether it's your last name, whether it's just the smallest thing, you have to be proud of yourself. And if you have no pride in yourself, I can't give it to you.
Because you're always going to compromise. You're always going to fold.
Always.
I'd say one of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
All you have control over is how you direct your attention and how you comport yourself. What are the actions that you're taking, how you're responding to the world around you. And when you drill that down into the tiniest little things that you're doing every single day and try to repeat that with just rigorous, relentless consistency, that is how you move mountains, that's how you build mountains, that's how you change your life. It fucking sucks, and I wish it wasn't that way. I didn't do them willingly. I did them because I was in so much fucking pain that I was boxed into a corner and felt like the only way out was through.
If you want freedom, if you value freedom, you can't possibly have it as long as you play the victim role.
Victims see their past as their fate. Champions see their past as their origin story. And so a lot of people are living through their origin story right now, or they're living through the very reason that they'll never be successful, but it could be the exact same situation. As weird of a construct as this is, the past doesn't exist. Just gone, it's not anywhere. And so the only thing that we absolutely have control over is the actions that we take right now. And it only matters if you make it matter.
If you're in it and you have said, this is what I'm destined to do and I'm gonna give my all, and every day I show up with 100%, regardless of the outcome, I'm showing up with 100%. That day gonna come. Whenever it comes, I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna come. I'm gonna get my just due and my fulfilling like need and energy and want for knowing that I have just delivered for myself. That's what I compete with. That's why I look at the mirror.
The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it. And you know something? The statistics show that 95% of the goals that you set for yourself, you will achieve if you refuse to quit. So the starting point is just to simply say, I am unstoppable. Say it. Say, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Now say it like you mean it. Get your thumbs out of your mouths and say it like you mean it. Say, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Once more, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Yes, so now from now on, whenever you see a barrier or wall, or you think of anything you want to do or be, you say, wait a minute here. I'm unstoppable. Nothing stops me.
And at that time, at mile 81, something clicked that I'll never probably be able to do again, when my mind, body, spirit, soul, everything just connected. And my mind knew I wasn't f***ing around anymore. It knew I wasn't gonna quit. It knew that guy was dead and buried and gone. And I was gonna die out here on this f***ing out for whatever reason why. It was nothing. It wasn't about nothing. There was no nothing. It was a bunch of people who didn't know who the f*** I was, and it was me against me. And I used all these different dark places to start bringing out light.
Like my mind was like, how this guy can stop me? I train all my life, every day, no day off. How this guy can stop me? Okay, only one way how he can stop me, like it's supposed to be like lucky punch or something like this. Otherwise, like I'm gonna try to take this guy down. If this guy stop me one time, I'm gonna try to 100 times. And it was work always.
And that is the work that no one will do. And that is why entrepreneurship is much more a battle of wills than it is a battle of intellect. You have to be willing to delay gratification for an extended period of time and eat glass, and that eating of glass is seeing how many failures you have until you get it right.
That you have to face what you don't want to face in order to fix it.
Yeah.
And so you look at all the things about yourself that need to be burned off, that need to be dispensed with. And that, man, especially at the beginning, especially if you're screwed up, that may be like 95% of you just has to go up in flames.
This is not for you in the first 5 years of doing whatever you're doing. Like, end yourself. That's the job. The job is nose goes against grindstone, sleep is out of the window, the candle gets burned on 3 ends. That's what you're supposed to do. The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
And the idea of just living an okay life just sounds so terrifying to me that the freedom to fail over and over again is still more fulfilling to me. At least it feels like it's real than walking through kind of on autopilot.
And I'm telling you from the bottom of my soul, it is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
I will never wish for fewer epic stories at the end of my life. And I've never regretted failures. I've always regretted things that I didn't try. And so just along those lines of trying to create more bias internally towards action rather than inaction, and normalizing consequences of failure as we said earlier, win or learn.
The only consequence is failure. By the way, not trying is failing.
Yeah, well said.
I want to make that very clear.
Well said, yeah.
Not trying is failing. There's a lot of things that people can't do simply because you've never tried to do it. And I'm not saying that you should try everything. I'm not saying that you're supposed to do everything. I'm saying that for me, when someone says something and I go, no, I never did that. I have to have a reason for why I've never done it and a justification. If you ask me something and I go, no, and you just say why, and I go, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
I like to have a reason why. And that's the foundation that I stand on.
Lock in, believe in what you believe in. Nobody else matter. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold yourself to your truth. You have to hold yourself to your beliefs, and always believe in the power of the man above.
I'm an artist, and every day I'm painting Mona Lisa. Every day, but it's a different one. It's not the same painting. So every day I wake up, even though they're the same thing, it takes a different way to get there. And the masterpiece is always myself. But to do that, you cannot have any distractions. Because if you're talking to an artist and he's trying to think about the next painting, he can't. It's impossible to listen to you and listen to what your mind and body are telling you we must do.
He said that you have to work on yourself and you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable, and you got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve. See it accomplished and go all out. Find a way to win.
And I would rather fall short of a big goal and consider myself a failure than lower the goals to the level which I can accomplish all of them just so I can feel like I'm a success. And it's less about the goal setting, and it's more about the mindset of being okay being the failure. Because what it does is it frees you to imagine bigger, take risks like you never imagined you could before, because failure is not the thing you're afraid of.
I think that if we make who we become the goal rather than the thing that we achieve, instead of winning once a decade, we can win every day. Because you can continually get better at being who you are, and then the achievement is just one milestone along the path. Shifting from who I become rather than what I achieve, or who I become as the achievement, has been a wonderful reframe.
You have the power to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Don't underestimate yourself. You don't know enough about yourself to become a cynic. And so you've got to challenge yourself to access that power that you have within you. You're more than a conqueror.
What I want to do is dramas, but Hollywood won't offer me no matter how big of a pay cut I take. So I said, all right, if I can't do what I want to do, I'm going to quit doing what I've been doing. So chose to, boom, go to the ranch in Texas. Camilla's pregnant. Told my agent, no more rom-coms, Don't know how long that's going to last. Made that decision with Camilla, and we said, look, we're going to make this decision. There's no telling how long we're going to go with that work. But if we're making the decision, like Australia, it's non-negotiable. We're not going back on it.
No one is going to beat you at being you. One of the things I like to say is find what feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. So it looks like work to them, but to you it feels like play. It's not work. So you're going to outcompete them because you're doing it effortlessly. You're doing it for fun. They're doing it for work. They're doing it for some byproduct. To you, it's art, it's beauty, it's joy, it's flow.
Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want? I mean, there are guys who work their entire life laying brick so their kids have a chance at the opportunities you have here.
But what if you, just today, just made the decision, because they're all decisions. I've already won. That's it. I'm alive. I've got one good friend. I've got one I'm sure every one of us can find something in our lives that we like. Things are okay. And this idea of already thinking of yourself as having won the game and the rest of life is simply, it's all after the finish line. Mm-hmm. It's anything you want to do after the finish line. Go have a good time.
The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it. And you know something? The statistics show that 95% of the goals that you set for yourself, you will achieve if you refuse to quit.
One day that thing's gonna come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not gonna be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us, because the very purpose is you.
The man who never failed, the man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory.
Wow.
That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never fell. There's no glory in that.